Hi boys and girls, today we're going to read another chapter from James and the Giant Peach. So our objective today is first of all to read and understand a novel text. And to be successful in today's lesson, we're going to see if we can use our phonics to read words, we're going to see if we can use a range of other strategies to help us read, we're going to see if we can find key words and phrases in the text which will help us to answer questions, and we're going to see if we can use evidence to support our answer. So not just saying what the answer is, but showing that that's the right answer by giving that evidence. So we're going to read now another chapter from James and the Giant Peach. Listen really carefully and then afterwards we'll answer some questions together.
Chapter 8. The news that a peach, almost as big as a house, had suddenly appeared in someone's garden spread like wildfire across the countryside, and the next day a stream of people came scrambling up the steep hill to gaze upon this marvel. Quickly, Aunt Sponge and Aunt Spiker called in carpenters and had them build a strong fence round the peach to save it from the crowd, and at the same time these two crafty women stationed themselves at the front gate with a large bunch of tickets and started charging everyone for coming in. Roll up, Aunt Spiker yelled. Only 1 shilling to see the giant peach. Half price for children under 6 weeks old, Aunt Sponge shouted. One at a time, please. Don't push. You're all going to get in. Hey you, come back there. You haven't paid. By lunchtime, the whole place was a seething mass of men, women and children, all pushing and shoving to get a glimpse of this miraculous fruit. Helicopters were landing like wasps all over the hill, and out of them poured swarms of newspaper reporters, cameramen and men from the television companies. It'll cost you double to bring a camera in, Aunt Spiker shouted. All right, they answered. We don't care, and the money came rolling into the pockets of those 2 greedy aunts. But while all this excitement was going on outside, poor James was forced to stay locked in the bedroom, peeping through the bars of his window at the crowds below. The disgusting little brute will get in everyone's way if we let him wander about, Aunt Spiker had said early that morning. Oh, please, he had begged. I haven't met any other children for years and years, and there are going to be lots of them down there for me to play with, and perhaps I could help you with the tickets. Shut up, Aunt Spiker had snapped. Your Aunt Spiker and I are going to become millionaires, and the last thing we want is the likes of you messing things up and getting in the way. Later, when the evening of the first day came and the people had all gone home, the aunts unlocked James's door and ordered him to go outside and pick up all the banana skins and orange peel and bits of paper that the crowd had left behind. Could I please have something to eat first? He asked. I haven't had a thing all day. No, they shouted, kicking him out of the door. We're too busy to make food. We are counting all our money. But it's dark, cried James. Get out, they yelled, and stay out until you cleaned up all the mess. The door slammed. The key turned in the lock.
Okay, so on my screen I've got an extract from what we just read together from James and the Giant Peach, and underneath I've got some questions for us to think about. Remember, when we're answering comprehension questions, it's always best to read the question first, and then hopefully we can find the answer in the text. So the first question says, what simile is used to describe the peach? Now, from our work on similes before, we know that similes are where you compare something to something else. So often we use the word like or as to compare those two things. So in the text you're going to look for where something is described and then you use like or as to make the simile. I can see the word as in the first paragraph twice. Can you find it? Have you found the simile? The news that a peach almost as big as a house had suddenly appeared. As big as a house. That's the simile, because it's describing that it's describing that the peach is big and it's as big as the house. Let's look at the next question. What does gaze upon this marvel mean? Now, I don't actually need to read the text to help me answer this question because it's asking me a little bit about what the vocabulary means. But if I'm not sure, I can always find this phrase, gaze upon this marvel, in the sentence and see if that can help me. So, there's the word gaze, so gaze upon this marvel, brilliant. It says, and the next day a stream of people came scrambling up the steep hill to gaze upon this marvel. I know the word marvellous is when something's very, very good. So gazing upon this marvel means that they're coming to look at this fantastic thing. That's what gaze upon this marvel means. We're looking for the fantastic thing. And of course a peach, being giant, is going to be pretty marvellous, isn't it? One more question together. What did Aunt Sponge and Aunt Spiker do to make money? Okay, well I'm looking at the second paragraph now because I found Aunt Sponge and Aunt Spiker's names. Let's see what they did to make money. Oh, it says here, had them build a strong fence around the peach. Does that answer the question? I'm not sure it does. That's something that they asked the carpenters to do, but that's not what's going to make them the money. Let's keep reading. They stationed themselves at the front of with a large bunch of tickets and started charging everyone for coming in. Ah, so that's how they made their money. They started charging people for coming in. Now, did you notice how, first of all, I found an answer that wasn't right, but I could have written that down without checking, couldn't I? It's always good to read a little bit more just to make sure you've definitely got that answer right. So your task today, I'd like you to go back to DB Primary. I'd like you to download the questions about Chapter 8, the chapter that we just read. I've got a little bit of text and then some questions for you to answer about each section. I want you to answer them and I want you to use evidence to support your answers. When you finish that, come back here and we'll write our open together. So today our objective was to read and understand a novel text. For your next step, do you need to develop your phonics to help you read words? Do you need to develop other strategies to help you read? Do you need to find key words and phrases in a text? Maybe you need to practice your skimming and scanning for key words. That's always something really useful to help you find words quickly. And do you need to provide evidence to support your answer? Have a think about what you need to work on, and hopefully next time we do a reading lesson, you'll be able to work on that.